All right, we're going to call the Municipal Complex Research Committee to order. First item of business was just discussion and approval of the meeting minutes, but given that we have 5 members not present.
We do have a quorum,
You have
so
a
you,
quorum?
you can approve.
Were enough of these people here at the last meeting so that they can approve the minutes?
You do not have to be here at the meeting to approve minutes. You just have to have read them.
Oh,
All right, has everyone had a chance to read them? Erica, I know you would.
Since I wasn't here, I don't feel I can approve them.
we can wait.
Yeah, we'll just, can I get a motion just to push them to next meeting?
Yep, make a motion to table the minutes.
Do I have to vote
The,
second?
the,
Or is that just sufficient? Oh,
what was the exact date of those minutes? I apologize.
October 7th.
I make a motion to table the minutes from October 7th.
Betty, you going to second?
yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So, to the matter at hand, we're gonna turn things over to Doug, who's gonna lead us through the new updated concepts and site plans. I did get some feedback from Kevin, who couldn't make it today, Doug, so I'll pass that along when we get to that point. So, do we want to connect? Or is it an HDMI? I have everything. All right. I'm calling this figure 1 just because it.
Yeah,
I
you
try
got,
to keep it straight in my.
you
own.
guys just tell me what you want to change the names to. Those are my numbers to keep myself straight.
When I send them to the committee, I just read numbered things as 1 through 6, just
Okay.
to kind of keep them order. So item 1 for me was just the PD only, single story.
Yeah. So this is the single story PD, and it goes along with this site plan here, and we've adjusted the road here to go around the pavilion as discussed last time. We can do any number of things with rework and building positioning and things like that. It's just, it'll affect how much site work we have to do. I mean, it might be more of an advantage to get closer to the road or something. So,
And if we wanted to flip the building or mirror the building 180 degrees so that the,
this way?
yes,
Yeah, you could do that as well.
okay.
So I just need some kind of decision on that, for whatever we issue for some kind of final vote. So just looking at that plan, all the red functions are police administration. So that's your chief, your lieutenant, your reception area, some secure storage, and a detective area up at the top. The orange areas are entry areas. So that's a entry vestibule, a waiting area, a reception restroom, a secure secondary vestibule, and a secure interview room. And the blue areas are patrol areas, so you have your sergeants, and then you have your patrol room, which is the larger one. They have a small storage area between them, and then they have a uniform and armory storage adjacent to those. Purple are the locker rooms with a couple of unisex shower rooms with toilet and sink. And then the beige areas are, I can't see my key there.
The support area, that's the.
Yeah, support.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. That's on that's on your thing now.
Oh, it's gonna go, yeah, it'll go away.
It'll go away
Okay.
later.
was gonna be
I
like-
think it's the I think it's the kitchen and the large meeting room and the, oh yeah, support areas.
Support areas. So that's the training room, break room, which are the two off to the left, and then the one off to the right is a fitness room. And then the orange area between the blue and the beige are mechanical rooms and radio room and electric room. And then the brown areas are the booking areas and a booking restroom and a, shoot, what was that one? I can't remember. And then the green areas are the evidence areas. So you have weapons storage, general evidence, a small drug evidence room, and then a evidence prep room up at the top. And then the bottom area is the sally port with a 2-car storage and a fence that could go around 1 car if that's being evaluated for evidence. And then a cold storage area off to the left of that. 7,500.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's a good question, because somebody's
Yep.
gonna wanna know.
And then after the last meeting, we went back and recalculated the project budget, which I think if you zoom out is on that sheet there, which I think is 4.7 other way. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, 4.7 million. So the difference between construction and project is project has all the soft costs in it, so that has engineering, surveys, construction testing, furniture budgets, telecom budgets, things like
Site work.
that.
everything.
Site work's included in the construction budget, yep. The site work can fluctuate depending on what we do on the site, if we're
Sure.
close to the road and everything, so that number can grow or contract a little bit.
But you put in for, you know,
We have a septic system in there. I'm not exactly sure what other utilities are available locally, but I think we also said we're gonna do a localized propane tank. I don't think you guys have any utilities in the road yet, so. And water, yeah, and a well.
Do you remember what shared 4.7 is just hard construction?
It's roughly 80% of that number is hard construction.
what I was trying to say is that you put in for, you're expecting some ledge, you're expecting some,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah, less than optimal conditions.
right, correct.
Any other core assumptions that are kind of consistent across the different things we do there? Like Jim was bringing up ledge or
Ledge, all the utilities,
shields.
the septic, a well system. I don't know if we can tie into the water system at the recreation center or not.
I doubt it.
I would think we'd probably have to be
Separate.
independent.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as, I know we're gonna talk about this, does this option lend itself for the expansion and addition option? Like,
Yes,
it's
that's-
set up in the same base program?
That's the way, this has been designed based on a couple meetings ago where we talked about break room and training room
Being shared recently.
being shared space with a potential future town hall. So that's why they're located where they are. And there is a plan that has been designed to the town hall program.
If that is what the voters want.
What's that?
It's not mandatory that it go that way. This is a standalone building that we can
Right,
build just like
this
this.
can function,
adapt.
this can function on its own.
Yes.
Correct.
And you, like you said, Jim, right before you came in, he was explaining that the site orientation is subject to, we could mirror it, we could rotate it, we could bring it closer to
Right, you can,
125.
you can flip this way. It depends on how you want to enter the site. So,
There's-
Do we know any more, yeah, sorry, I'm late. Do we know any more about the entrance and egress on 125? We wouldn't until we put in a,
right, I think you'd have to put in an official application,
Yep.
but going back and looking at the statute, it does say one entrance per 500 lineal feet of.
but if
and-
I'm not
and you're at
mistaken,
600 you're at
yeah, we have-
688.
right,
Yeah,
we
we were
have
just
that,
far,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, good.
And it's actually not a bad location because I believe this is the crest of the hill.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
high
You can
point.
see
is
it,
right around.
you can see it both directions.
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah, the existing entrance to the wreck can be a little challenging. on
Yeah,
Coming from the southbound side, just because you're,
yeah, it's a little challenging shooting over to the road to come here
Yeah.
too, so,
yeah.
You made it.
this time.
Any other things that would be major, I guess, either constructability or costs, where there's cost uncertainty with the concept in general?
No, I think it's pretty, we've done it pretty standard construction, and again, slab on grade and everything, just to keep the costs down and make them more able to be anticipated as to what could happen. And I've done this with BPS a few times on similar projects, and I think they have a good idea and are comfortable with it. I will go back and revisit numbers with them one more time.
Okay.
And make sure that we do have everything covered.
Um,
We did have a little chat after the last meeting just to go through things, but I just want to do it one more time.
Are they assuming like a 2026 construction start, finish 27, like 12 months?
Yeah. So every year you delay, potentially, things have started to level out, but you're probably looking at about a 5% escalation cost.
That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
And it's all stick-built with slab on grade, so no materials?
Correct. This is all type 5 construction, which is wood construction. So it's exterior wood stud walls and roof trusses and everything else, but it will have a superior mechanical system. And things
Yep.
like that.
How long will a building like this last for, physically?
Every building is subject to how well you take care of it, but I would say it's probably 40 to 60 years.
Okay.
You just took the words right out of my mouth, yeah.
You're gonna have a secure,
Yeah, sorry.
If you're gonna have the reception area, if that's gonna be secure at all, is there any other requirements for the rest of the
No,
building?
they all kind of function, generally what we see is the police themselves tell us what they're comfortable with within their community. And usually we do harden the entrance areas because that has the potential for somebody coming in with a hot head or something.
Well, I'm thinking if if you have the entrance area, what prevents someone from standing outside the building and I don't know what the requirements could be.
Yeah, that's true with any facility. It's a matter of how far you want to take it.
I mean, you're making it secure or hardened only from one limited side. I'm
Well,
just thinking
it's
where the
more, it's
reception
more
area
for those staff people.
Right.
Because downstairs right now, other than access control beyond reception, I'm assuming that's just bulletproof glass at the
there's bulletproof glass,
Is
and
it-
there's concrete block.
concrete block. Is
So we could put, like some of those more secure areas in the middle, that teal color, if we wanted to have more secure.
I'm thinking a
Yeah,
reception
I mean,
area, if you put bulletproof glass, there's no sense putting sheetrock underneath it.
No, those areas typically we put
Plate?
bullet-resistant fiberglass underneath the drywall.
Mhm.
So it looks less institutional, but it's also protected.
So there are ways to do that within this stick-built construction.
And that's in there.
Okay.
We will do, typically when we have booking areas, those are more of a concrete block construction just for durability.
Mhm.
We definitely do it when we have holding cells. We don't have holding cells in this case.
Mhm.
And then also for the evidence areas, those will be fire-rated construction just for preservation of evidence.
Fire rated as in block or sheetrock?
It can be sheetrock.
Are there any, other than in evidence, I mean, we talked before about a limitation downstairs, was that there was special, like, climate control needed for evidence?
Yeah.
Independent of the rest of the facility?
Yeah, well, you want to control the humidity in the
Yeah.
space, similar to what you're doing in your vault now.
Mhm.
And typically that humidity range isn't outrageous, you know, it's between 50
50
to
and
60.
60, yeah.
This looks great, and thank you for those changes that last time and then you've made. I think just if we're gonna present this to the public, just removing where it says town hall from this
Yep.
picture, which is, right, like,
And I think we'd call it option 1, just to kind of make it like the PD only. So
I
it's
just
not-
want to, I want to make it clear to everyone that we are listening. We recognize that the police department needs to not be in the basement anymore. And so this does that.
Looking at this, I do have a question though, is the cost of the building, and police isn't here, but how often does anybody think that they're gonna be using the fitness?
They use it a lot.
They-
Yeah, they use it a lot. I've talked to them about it, and they would utilize
Off
it.
time coming in or? on-
Both. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because there's,
What I was thinking, is it beneficial to, you know, provide them, you know, a membership someplace and save the price of the building and the equipment that goes into it?
so, we actually have, when we went on the tour of Northampton, we have a connection to get the equipment donated to us. And so for the added square footage, I think it would be worthwhile. I think there's also requirements that you have to pass fitness tests. So, yes,
Mhm.
so having the ability to do that on site as opposed to, but
I'm just
guess-
looking at the use of it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna end up like fitness equipment in many people's basements not being used and them going someplace.
no, I don't think so.
I mean, I think the space programs have been gone over with former Chief Doty and the other staff, so I think we've kind of nailed down, I don't think there's any real wants that are being kind of captured. It's all needs or things for, I think they did a pretty good job of kind of.
The question is really just how much is it gonna be used? Is it gonna be used? Just, you know,
If our police department and our officers are gonna have certain requirements that they have to meet, we should at least provide them with the facilities to meet them.
Yep, and we do that with fire as well.
Yeah, the other option would be a gym membership.
Right,
But,
and
but
that was really my question,
Yeah.
which
So-
would be, you know,
it's a valid question.
which is, you know, both beneficial for us as
Mhm.
I guess we could look up how much that would cost
but,
for a
you know, if we
comparison.
can get equipment for nothing, the space
Yeah.
is probably the better deal. It was.
Yeah, no, it's
It was a
a
question
valid
worth
thing to look
asking.
into, and we have officers that work different shifts as well.
Yeah, I think it's easier from, as an officer, I think it's easier to go to the PD to use the gym there than a gym membership because you're already going there for a shift.
Mhm.
So it's not like you're having to make a separate trip.
Some use it as a release too. Like if they've had a tough day, they'll go and
Yeah.
pound some weights and,
If
yeah, yeah.
They're gonna use it, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
That's-
Yeah,
That's a good question though, because I think you're probably not the only one that's gonna ask it,
No,
and
it's
being able to
valid.
have the answer ready is a good thing.
No, I just think you're providing a space that's kind of different and just have to be able to justify it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think there's justification, we just have to be able to.
Even if the use of it fell off, I think it's a pretty generic space that it could be utilized in other, you know.
I guess that's
I'd-
true, if, because we could turn that into another office or something if we needed to.
It's,
And I do think it's easier to maintain your fitness, again, with it being there as opposed to going to a gym. It's just more effort.
yeah, and we also don't have control over where the staff live in relation to
Right.
the PD. So, I mean, I think we can put it into the sergeant's hands just to confirm that that's like a real, like it's a need, not a want.
I think that, I agree with Letty that we should change the title on this. I do think it should be option 1, Brentwood Police Department, and maybe in parentheses under it, have, you know, with room for future expansion.
So that's actually a
We
separate
have a
picture,
separate picture.
Okay,
so that there's no confusion,
right, okay, good.
because we don't want people to think that we're promising
I
future.
Jumping ahead
I
again.
retract. See what I missed in the 5 minutes I was late? All right.
All right, so any other discussion on option 1 before we go to what I labeled in the email as option 2?
Mhm.
which is, so Doug, this just appears to be option one with the
Correct.
accommodations for expansion. There's no name or end use or anything. It's just, we could take that and add on.
Right, and it can be any shape within reason, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, that's just shown for scale, to be like, it's an
Right.
equivalent expansion.
Well, that outline is a test fit of a town hall.
Okay. So I think we would rename that as option two with future expansion and not name.
Not
And there's,
yeah.
and where there's no difference in price,
Yeah, that would just be for future planning. We'd have to make sure the site accommodates.
That's
some
just for site footprint.
site
Yeah, don't
footprint.
put
We
anything
don't put
else there,
anything
yeah.
On the
Yeah.
west, say the west side
Well,
of the building,
and
but take out town hall, just put future expansion.
future expansion,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because that could be,
it could be a price difference depending on how much the group decides to prepare any of that land adjacent.
But we wouldn't right now.
I mean, at a minimum.
Well,
it'd just be
it
like a
depends.
lawn,
You might,
I guess.
you might level it off or something.
Right, if
because
we're already
Already
doing
there,
site work,
yeah.
leveling it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
because
that.
the cost.
I doubt it's a large cost, but it's just something
Yeah.
else.
Some
And you might want to
additional
explore it too, to see what's under it.
So we'll call it option two with,
Which could make a difference which way you want to face that building.
Yeah,
So do we want to put in a number on that?
I think we'd show I think for the ease of discussion, we'd keep the same number because it's only committing to space planning, whatever that additional site prep would be.
I'm sorry, which number?
So like the 4.7, so we'd say option two with accommodations for future expansion, but the assumption being like we haven't costed what that is.
because if we decide to do any site prep, we would have to decide what level of site prep we
Yeah.
do.
Well, or you just say a range, you say it's 4.7,
7 to 4.9.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be, it's front end cost of just leveling and loam and seed if you're clearing.
But I think we would need to be clear on that, yeah, I think that we should put a range in there for option
Okay.
Okay,
two.
so
All right,
4.7 to
Yeah.
4.9.
So are you gonna call this option two?
We'll call this
Or is
option two.
option one with
No.
This is
I
option
think option two,
Even though it is option.
even
one
though it
with-
really is option one with some extra site work,
and then the title will just say slash expansion.
slash expansion.
Yeah,
Expansion.
And I think the range of saying 4.7 to 4.9 probably captures
Agreed.
how much we could really do with just making a big lawn space.
Well, you could,
I guess one question I would have, thinking about, we've allowed for some shared space in the training room, break room, because that could be kind of multi-purpose.
hold on,
Is-
you have to go to the next picture.
I know.
Talk about that.
But that's, okay, so I'm gonna go to we're gonna call this option three. So as we go to put something in that 7,800 square feet, is, with the assumption being all electrical, HVAC and everything would be independent between the two halves. So I think that's one key, we're not oversizing a heating system for something.
No, I've provided two mechanical spaces.
Okay, that's what I just wanted. So figure three will, that
I mean, in a building this size, you'd want that either way, right?
Uh,
Or at least
not-
zones or
Not
something?
necessarily. It could be shared, but one operation is 24/7 and the other one isn't. So it'd be nice if the other one went on setback, you
Mhm.
know.
Well, and then you have occupant control over different space. Some people are on the perimeter, some people.
and you have a backup system in case.
Right.
Would, I guess, this is a question going back to option one, is there a standby generator in that?
There is, okay, that's good to know.
The one thing I haven't introduced is like if you want to do solar or
I mean, I think as long as the roof's solar ready, like, that's a down the road, who
anything.
knows?
Solar ready.
I guess we could look into having battery walls instead of feeding back into the. That's a later question.
That's a fine detail question, I think, because that all comes down to what kind of incentives we might be able to get. that
Yeah.
Makes that more.
Roof
realistic.
orientation too.
Yeah, which, as currently on the site, we're thinking
I
what,
think-
single
I
peak?
think we're south that way, right?
Yeah, south will be that way, or
you-
south.
If you,
Well, depending if you rotate it or not.
Yeah. So I think there would be some roof surface that could be oriented to be advantageous.
I'm working on another project for Concord, and you know, they had us put all this stuff that we consider alternates in their base number, which was like
This
solar,
exact room.
geothermal heat, and all these different things. So I just bring those up because some people are going that way now. I prefer to do buildings that way, but they're just expensive.
So south, just for reference, based on the site plan that you have, is in the direction of the blue rooms
Yep.
on the PD side.
Sorry, I got the north. I
No,
got the
that's
north
okay.
there.
I only know because that's the direction my house
Yeah,
faces.
that's what I.
Thinking about an expanded one, other than obviously we'd have to like undo that common wall, like you'd take exterior finishes off to become kind of common wall construction. Is there anything else for a future expansion we'd have to think about? If we prep the site to be flat, the only other modifications you'd make would be interconnecting the two structures with, you know, pass-through doors.
Well,
or-
it's more on us to think about, but it's how we do the structure so that you're not, so when we take that wall down, you don't have to put anything else.
You don't have to put any new
Because
columns in.
the idea is that the big square in the middle is double the size of this room. That's what it's kind of based on. So you'll have room to put a table across the front, and then you'll be able to seat everybody.
In the
this way.
audience, yeah.
And
Okay, so each half of that big room is basically one of these spaces?
correct. It's a little bit bigger, but yeah, it's basically.
Okay.
How would you orientate the roof structures to?
So we
work
probably have
together?
a gable going this way that comes to the red line. So you have a truss that spans that whole thing, and then we'll join it with another one when you add on.
So
to
it looked like two halves coming together when
Yep.
you're.
It's one massive intersecting main.
So
frame.
you'd only have one pitch, one,
No, so your long axis would be a pitch this way, and then we'd have a pitch going this way, and then a pitch this way.
No, I'd try to draw it, but I'd butcher it.
I can go up there and touch it if you want.
So you, so you're envisioning, using the wrong tool, but you'd have one long coming called page
That
south,
way,
one going
yeah,
page north,
okay.
but you could
Gotcha.
break it in half,
It's really just two pitches.
two pitches.
gotcha.
So it's kind of like an H. We got a gable going this way.
Yeah.
One going this way, and we're just doing it. This whole width, so that we match. And this is just kind of so that you walk.
Okay, so it gives it a little aesthetic instead of just being a single
Yeah, I'm trying
pitch.
to break it up. So.
Okay,
Was that constructed as a steel roof?
No.
Asphalt?
Oh, I prefer to do asphalt shingles, but I know you have steel on this building, and I'm not sure if the steel is kind of causing some of your water issues. So,
Well, we had some ice damming.
well, I think also
Sounds like poor
probably
planning.
I haven't seen this building in the wintertime, so this is what I think is happening is probably your snow is coming off the roof, building up big piles in front of the building, and then it's all hitting that drainage area. So you have this big water storage thing going on until it thaws in the springtime, and then you get all this water coming down the
So-
foundation wall.
If we were to plan for a metal roof, could we prevent problems like that?
I
or-
don't really like them just because you do have that issue where everything starts coming off and building up and everything. I'd rather hold it on the roof.
Okay.
And it's not a structural issue, especially in your area. You don't have a heavy snow load down here,
Asphalt.
so.
thinking about long-term maintenance, are we talking alternative, non-wood exterior siding? Like this was vinyl
Yeah.
clad?
We could do vinyl, we can do hardy panel or fiber cement or whatever.
So you could basically make it look like whatever we want to.
Yeah, the fiber cement I like has an advantage because you can change the color over time, you know.
It can be painted. Any other materials of construction that we would be thinking more life cycle because of the issues we've had in this building, just in terms of like?
Well, yeah, this building has more or less residential doors and things like that. We're not gonna specify that. Everything's gonna be commercial grade. Same with the windows.
Any exposed trims composite instead of wood?
Well, it's all gonna be probably hollow metal frames inside.
I'm thinking on the exterior finishes around the entries. If we had to use any trim board and stuff, it's
Yep.
all composite.
Yeah, it can be fiber cement or it can be cellular PVC, which is what AZEC is. That's the technical name for AZEC.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to walk through the town hall plan at all, or
I think the
Kinda under-
space program for that was developed through your interviews too, so that was also, I mean, I think that was I think we saw it on the last screen, it was like 7,800 square feet of new single story.
yep. But basically, the way that it works is you come in, there's a main lobby. Where the dashed line is on the upside of that lobby is you could section that off so that nobody can go in, can access the town offices after hours. So you just have the meeting room, and then the red down in the lower left corner is another meeting room,
Okay.
similar to what you have here. The beige just above that is conservation office. All the orange is mechanical and town storage, kind of replacing what you have in the basement here. All the gray in the middle are restrooms, so you have some restrooms that function for the meeting space, and then you have restrooms and privacy areas that function just for the
Staff.
town offices.
Okay.
The tax collector and all that is that red area.
Yeah.
The blue is finance. The red up in the corner is town administrator. Then it goes to land use, building department. Green is recreation, of course. And then we have print areas, a secondary smaller meeting room off that lot. That's the keeper of the list. And then across the hall from that is a small meeting room. So if anybody comes in to the town offices and has an issue that's more confidential, any smaller meeting could take place with that individual in that room.
Which one's the vault?
And the vault is the one above that.
This 140?
Yeah. And then that's the record.
Oh, because it's accessible only off the record.
Right, and then that's the record. Thanks for reminding me.
But the point of this is more to just show that all of the needed functions can fit in this space.
Right, and that also the adjacencies work.
Right.
And it's fairly efficient, you know.
But if someone is gonna say, I don't wanna have an office next to Mark because he's difficult, like we could move individual.
I'll sit next
Spaces in
to
between.
Mark, it's okay.
I'm just saying that these are not set in stone, just to
Thank
prove that we
It's a
can fit
space
everything.
plan.
I do like that small meeting room near land use. We do have clients that come in or applicants that come in that do conferences beforehand, so I think that'd be handy. The two different files we keep here, has that been accommodated for and they're still separate?
We have space here to do that. They are separate, but again, that's the kind of thing that if Chuck wanted to have the one closer to him, then we could move spaces.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they're accommodated
And the
for.
I'm sorry, is it the conservation group
I don't know.
that has their files in the other?
They do, yeah, conservation and
So
cemetery. have
that's
their files.
the, above the, smaller, no, down the bottom corner next to the entrance,
This one?
just to the left of
Okay,
there,
so
that's
that-
their storage area and file area, and then their office there. And they're adjacent to that conference rooms for meetings. So,
One of the times we had talked about whether or not, instead of giving like conservation its own office, if there was like a committee office, basically, so any committee that had files, like maybe we make that space a little bit bigger, make that meeting room a little
Yep.
smaller, and so conservation files could go in there, like any committee that needed a space to store stuff.
right, and I realize at this point, this plan is untested, this is the first time you're seeing it and everything. But the thing it does is the way that the building's oriented is, if we need to grow a little bit, you know, we can push this way and push down or something, or push a little wider if we need to. There's lots of flexibility with it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I was trying to make these efficient, meet the program, and, you know, meet your budgets, so.
I don't see anywhere in there for ice cream stand.
That's over at the rec. That's the advantage of being on site.
Your microphone, sir?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. You look like you were about to.
No, I was thinking about ice cream.
So are people good with kind of closing this conversation and going just the last one was just
So are we,
option 3?
so this is gonna be 3.
Yep.
And the title will stay the same?
Yeah, I think just because it is representing town hall, just for space and.
Do you wanna just call it a test fit or something, or? With town
That's
hall
not a
test
bad-
fit?
Yeah. And I think the one thing, and we'll get to this when we get to the next concept, is so we know that was an additional 7,800 square feet. When we go to, I don't necessarily want to call it option 4, because it's kind of like independent of what all this is.
Correct.
On the reno is what having, on the reno figures, what is the existing footprint, and then how does that compare to the renovated version? So that we say, like, this current first floor for town hall is 4730, but it is, the layout is totally, so we might want to show existing condition, and then here's the renovated first floor. That's just my thought, just because people's have context to this building, but knowing that the renovated version would be making use, putting stairs, doubling the size of this room, they could kind of understand where that square footage is kind of evolving from. But I don't think we want to call it option 4, because it's more for context of, like, if this building ever were to get repurposed, what could it
Right,
look like?
it's
and-
town hall renovation test option 1, test 1 or something. So.
Test concept, just because
Concept.
just call it a concept, so that we can show people, like, if we stay with this building, it is adaptable to meet future needs as compared to building.
We would want to have some type of a expenditure, what it would look like money-wise.
Yeah, which we do have that, but
I'm sorry, I had it on there and it disappeared when I
Okay,
redid
so-
this plan the other night.
So we'll add the existing first floor to the set for the reno figures, and then we'll just call it town hall renovation concept.
Okay.
What was that figure? Do you know off the top of your head?
I had a range, because I think it would probably be 1.7 to 2.3 or 4, depending on what you did.
Some
The
of that
the
was,
advantage that this site has is that you have all your infrastructure in place, so then you're only just messing around with the inside of the building.
That's why it seems like a lot to me.
so
Well, we're introducing vertical circulation and things like that.
I think you have to put elevators in. when you
and
split it like that.
also, I'm not sure that we can ignore the HVAC situation, because yes, there are existing HVAC, but I think there's 4 different furnaces that don't talk to each other. So, yes, I think that's why there was a range.
So when we look at the reno, it's obviously a concept, so it's what we could repurpose this space. So the first floor effectively is to create more meeting space and a better segregation of office uses.
Well,
as
yes,
opposed to, like,
in-
we have tons of common space.
Right, to double the size of this space, provide vertical circulation. We have the tax collector and that office in place as soon as you enter. And then we have the administrator, and the vault stays where it is, because it's probably gonna function fine the way it is, just have to make sure the HVAC is okay. And then, we have an assessor office, finance office, and then a secondary conference room in the upper corner on the left-hand side. And then a print area and some, staff dedicated restrooms. And then a little bit of desk area for anybody coming in, that's on the top of the stair.
What's the, all the way to the end on the left, what's that
This is
box?
the
That's the vault.
Okay,
It's kind of a bump on the whole building. There's no basement under that.
We'd assume new HVAC, new exterior,
Right.
siding, roofing on the whole, just
I
basic.
think the roofing is probably okay for a little while.
save some money.
Yeah, I am relocating the exit there. And then all the exits on the building, don't meet, sorry, the exit here and the exit off the end of the building don't meet code. We'd have to redo the landings outside.
Make them deeper.
Well, no, they're all a step down outside the door, and that's
Okay, instead of being.
that's not
through
commercial construction, so that's residential construction. So we'd redo those landings with guards.
Well, there are a few people that live here, so we could call it residential.
I'd like to go home at some point.
Tell you, there's plenty of room in your office. for a
So,
cot.
and then I think this one, we just obviously I think the only differentiation would be just calling them first floor,
Right.
lower level. And the primary thing here is just repurposing the existing PD footprint into new uses, because the storage that is there now is mostly has to stay
Right.
that way just because of
And I've
ceiling heights and whatnot.
I've put, yeah, the ceiling heights are tight. I've put this vertical circulation where it is for a reason, just because of the way the structure works on the building. But, so down here we have, Parks and Rec in the green in the corner, of course. We have wrapping around the elevator shaft is a break room. Conservation is in the far, right corner. And then land use and building department are on the top there in the middle.
With the service windows?
Yeah, well, that's recreation and building department.
Okay, these two.
And then there's a service window when you come down the stairs, for land use, right there. And then keeper of the list is the red. And then all the other areas are storage or mechanical areas. And then the red hatching, because the question came up last time, how much space is dedicated to the PD presently, and that's what the red hatch indicates.
Okay.
So,
Because I believe all the IT and stuff is in the basement right now, would we bring
It's
that?
right, it's, do
Send
you
it
see
over
this?
here still?
it's in
Yeah,
that L
that's
shape.
where it is.
Yeah. I was trying to preserve that.
Do any of the current waterproofing issues exist in the original old town hall structure, or is it all in? within
Not
the
that I
PD
can see.
side of-
I think it's all kind of where the break room is.
Yeah,
We'd have to deal with the sump there and everything, so.
Okay.
So that room might be reconfigured somehow.
Within that figure of renovation, you're going to solve those issues, right?
Yes.
yeah. I just couldn't remember if we had localized all the dam proofing to
Our
one
intent,
surface.
our
one
intent
room.
with any renovation we do with any building is you're getting a new building for another 30 or 40 years.
So 4.7 plus 2.4. Is that, am I
I think it
adding
was
those?
1.7 to 2.2.
Sure. So 4.7 plus 2.2 is.
Yeah, you're approaching the
Six.
$7 million number, so.
Okay.
I-
So for an extra,
This might need a little more research as opposed to what we do and what the estimates are, but that's our really
well, I think,
conservative guess right now.
I think the reason that we wanted this was to be able to compare to,
Right.
because people are asking, right? If we can save money by
Yep.
doing one building all at once versus doing it separately versus renovating this building, people are gonna wanna know where that all.
And I think something else you need to think about is if you're not gonna occupy this building and you're gonna try to sell it, is what the market for that is, because we've done other projects for other towns where they get stuck carrying the building like for a few years and maintaining it
Mhm.
for that period of time, and it becomes a little bit of a burden on folks.
So I know that, hold, I might have,
We did get, I thought we got a market analysis a couple months ago.
I don't think so.
I think it was.
I don't think
around a
so at
million,
all.
But I can't remember what the date was that it was acquired.
I mean, look at what property's going for in the town of Brentwood right now. They're getting $1.3 million for a 2-acre lot with a house on it.
I just think would be more like, it'd be a potential upside that you could sell it, but I don't think we would want to probably
Oh, no,
count
we're not banking.
banking on it.
Yeah, we're not banking on that. But in that reno figure, is it included where we're gonna go while the renovation is taking place?
Go while
Well,
Yeah,
you
like
can't,
basically
the
10
town office
office, 10
can't be in
office.
operation while you're
we're.
renovating it.
No,
You're
we're
gonna-
gonna renovate while you're here. You're gonna have to,
Move
the
around.
PD moves out, right?
You build
So
up
then you have space. You have space that you can deal with for moving people around. You know, it's the number puzzle where you're shifting things around.
So the plan would be to reno the basement first, and then all operations from upstairs go downstairs, and then you reno the upstairs?
Or do half and half on the upstairs.
And
Yeah,
half
you'd
and
have to get, it's a
Okay.
sequencing and kind of
Yeah.
logistical
It
problem.
might be a 2-step process, it might be a 3-step process. It's probably more of a 3-step process when you're
Okay.
integrating the vertical circulation, I would think.
Yeah,
And that is costly because that stretches out the timeline for your general conditions for the project, you know, so.
Thank you.
Both buildings require fire suppression systems?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm thinking about the size. The PD itself doesn't, what I'm unsure about is if, when we attach the town hall to a PD, if we need fire suppression, so I need to analyze that. I think you're fine, though.
that's why I always defer to the architect when we ask those questions.
I think, well, the only reason I'm surprised is I think, and this could be, I think when we had talked to a building inspector, several building inspectors ago, he had talked about bringing this building up to code would include fire suppression. But that could have been a mistake.
There's no reason this needs to be fire suppressed.
Great. One last thing.
Is there fire
You
suppression in the vault?
you can have unsprinkled police departments as long as nobody's staying there overnight, and you don't have that condition, meaning a detainee.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was gonna say the fire department does not have suppression other than probably in the bays, just because of the trucks with ventilation and
Are you,
stuff.
is
but
that a question or a
it's a
statement?
question, I'm wondering.
They probably do.
Because they have,
I think
they have the
buildings-
dormitories and
I think they
everything.
do, yeah.
I feel like I remember seeing.
I can't
special orders
remember.
in the fire department.
Usually what triggers fire suppression is, one, the building size, and it's per floor. It's not, you know, the total square footage of the whole building and the construction type of the building. So with smaller buildings, you can overcome fire suppression by upgrading the type of construction to non-combustible or something like that.
So I guess
So
that
Mark
would be
should
one,
have something for you.
so I guess that's one action item
Mark.
for you, Doug, for next time. It's just
Yep.
if the PD plus town hall.
I can send you an email about that tomorrow.
So these were for the from the summer. Looks like one has a conservative 800,000 estimate without having actually come out. And this one is a 1.1 million.
We did them both last summer, like summer of 25. or-
Yes. But I don't think either of them were official. Because do you remember, Jim? There was a whole thing about like, I had requested the wrong thing. Because they don't want a full estimate from, it was like just approximately what we thought the building was going to be worth. I tried to sell it.
What you said, 800 to 1.1?
8 to 1.1. There were only 2 in the folder.
It's good context, but I think it is kind of like we couldn't bank on.
No.
You'd
Oh,
have to-
we-
somebody would have to be super creative with what they wanted.
Yeah, it's kind of a limited market. I mean, what I see is coming in here is like a professional office or something like that.
Yeah. It's just hard to vision. You can't.
Yeah,
go
in the middle of a
around and see
neighborhood.
Right here.
you know.
Like, there's wetlands on 3 sides. and a
I
street out
mean,
front.
How
They
is
could-
this,
Are we in the commercial
yeah, I
district
was
right
gonna
now?
say, how is it zoned here? Is it commercial?
Mark, are we commercial right now?
No, we are located within the town center district.
Is that not commercial?
No, it's called the town center district, and it's different than commercial. That is the actual zone that we are in. You have to read the ordinances that pertain to the town.
Let me tell you why
Center
I'm
district.
asking, because I know that there's new legislature that says in
Mhm.
commercial zones,
Mm-hmm.
you can have multifamily housing.
Before speaking on
Nope.
any of that, I would have to read the town center.
I understand, I'm not
Mhm.
asking you to commit to anything, but
Yep.
that would be something that someone could buy this.
No,
and
reading,
build,
reading,
like,
Can they
four-
use it for-
reading
four
this,
townhomes or something.
reading this, the perfect application for this building is a daycare center.
Okay, do you want to? I'm ready.
No, well, because of its proximity to
The school.
the library,
Library.
the school.
Sure.
You've got a perfect circular, I mean, it's perfect for a daycare facility.
Sure, but
Um,
we could,
Just a good idea.
Yeah.
So I think we got that.
But the price did go down from,
no, that's a different.
oh, you have a different one?
Doug, is there anything you want to show on the site plans before I do want, with the interest of time, I do want to make sure you folks get a chance to ask any questions or comment before we we're coming up on 2:30. Is there anything site plan wise?
No, it's all pretty open right now. I mean, we have shown the town hall test in a parking lot. We can go ahead and start showing septic and a well and other things like that, just to have them on there so they look like they're included.
I think the key thing that got asked of us and we've accommodated was avoiding the pavilion. And I have to say, we're centering any development kind of closer to the 125 and the parcel with to the south, so we're not impacting the existing trail network. Starts as you go around the pavilion. Does anybody on the committee have any other site-related questions?
Something that we had briefly touched upon that I think I'll just mention again is that if, in terms of that future parking, if the rec department, say, wanted to ask the select board or wanted to put forth a project sooner rather than later to put parking in there, they totally could, because it's out of the way of all this other stuff, right?
Yeah, depending on what is the final decision is on the building orientation.
And the pavilion can obviously stay where
Yes.
it is and be fully functional.
And I think the other thing is if the 125 access were to be a prolonged conversation with the state, we could route access to the front of the rec so that we'd have circulation. So we wouldn't be using the main parking lot to come in and out, both PD and visitors. We could have the access road kind of run parallel to 125.
Yeah, didn't we
think an earlier
figure
concept.
out that there's room there between, because the septic or
yeah,
the
it's
well or
just-
something is over?
I think there's technically space that if we got cornered and had to be parallel to 125 and we couldn't get the second point, the new PD access off 125, we could find a way to route traffic
Or just route PD
or
traffic?
just route PD traffic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might double the cost of the access road.
Yeah, because that's a long run. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty
600 feet of
far.
asphalt you have to put in.
Yeah.
But
And it's going around that knob and everything too.
I do want to open it up because you guys came to the meeting. If you guys want, either of you want to come up with any questions or comments from the public?
Where do you want?
I'm familiar with that.
You really touched on a couple of things that I was concerned about, but
Yeah, just
identify
name and address, just so we can.
Jack Mitchell, Sherman Avenue, for the last 50 years. So for 1.7 to 2.4 million, the renovation of this building, that chronic water problem really has been an issue. And I think we've been assured that that problem will be resolved in in that quote of 1.7 to 2.4 in the renovation here. You're very confident of that? Okay, great. Thank you. The quote of 7.8 million is construction at the same time for both parts of this project? Is that
Yes.
the way that's
Well-
presented?
Yes.
Well, Jack, I think you might be confused because the 7.8 million is for a town hall and police structure both together, not the renovation of this.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. But
Yeah, but the concept would be you'd be building one joint facility at one construction window.
And I'm thinking that by building them both at the same time, there must be some savings in whatever, pouring the
You get
foundation at the
economies
same
of
time.
scale with all
Right.
your materials and one construction window instead of doing it as PD only and then coming back in years later
Yes.
to do the same.
Yes. We really would like to avoid looking back at the project here, the decision 5 years from now and saying, gee, I wish we'd done something else. So, but if they are both built at the same time, we'd save the 1.7 to 2.4 million. Would have the sale of the existing, which at one point was 1.1 million, but sounds like it's down to around 800,000 now.
That's what I just read, yeah, 750 to 800, yeah.
We'd avoid the regular maintenance on this building by not renovating here, by building both parts. And if the town hall were going to be delayed for 3-4 years or whatever, just inflation factor would be significant. I think you mentioned 5% a year. So in any event, I think those numbers need to be put together, numbers that we're confident of in order to, number one, convince either way this group, number two, to be able to present to people, because there is a difference between one building and both parts. But thanks to you all really for pursuing this project. It's been detailed, but it's very important. So thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Jim Hazard, Mohawk Lane. Just, I know we have a new police chief coming in. I'm curious if he has been brought up to speed on this or his opinion on current facilities and future. And as Jack said, I know the concern, and when he said it, that's what brought it to my mind. Is like, don't want to go start something and then have someone new in charge who says, oh, I would have liked to have this, or that's not what I would want. Just didn't know if he's been involved at this at all.
He has watched some of these, and I have filled him in. He was very instrumental in building the Lee complex, the safety complex in Lee. So he is anxious to get in here and sit on the board and give his input. And that should happen probably,
Awesome.
I would
So by the
hope
time
by
this
the
would
next meeting.
go to public,
Oh, yeah.
we would have a chief who was like,
He's gonna have.
awesome.
Yep.
That's really important.
Yep, he's gonna have
Thanks.
say.
What is his start date?
Thank you.
We don't have an official start date yet, but we're hoping very soon.
Great. That's great to hear.
I don't want to put anything in.
We had one other thing that was, and I think since we don't have the whole group, I'd say I'll send something out. We do need to start thinking about tentative dates for an info session this fall. I think Doug, getting the figures updated and having those updated costs based on the concepts we talked, I think that will be the basis for that info session where we can have Q&A, we can have the boards up, we can have things on screens, and we can just make that available to the public to come in. Jim, are there any town functions that come? I know we usually do the
National Night Out.
National Night Out, but that
that's-
passed. But
yep.
then what is it's the Christmas, the Peach Project? Is there any other town functions, November, December, where we'd have a gathering already and we could kind of glom onto it.
I'm not aware of any myself, but
Just Peach
mean,
Project is usually,
Yeah, just be aware that when this is going to town meeting and these warrant articles are being crafted, that the select board will have to have noticed hearings themselves. So we should probably be available to go to that hearing and answer any questions that the public may have.
I'd be there.
I think if
Yeah,
we
I think-
get Doug's updated information for our November meeting, which we'll have to schedule with this group, and then we could probably plan first an info session maybe between the holidays so that that's priming it, and then we're in front of the board in January with that feedback. And probably we need draft warrant language by January. So we're gonna have to kind of go to one meeting just to introduce everything, second one with the proposed language. Right? Sound generally like a timetable? So we'll tentatively look for sometime in early December for an info session. As far as our next meeting goes, obviously avoid Thanksgiving week, so we'd be looking at Tuesday the 18th. Because Tuesday the 11th is better. Does that sound good to the collective of 5 of us?
What's the date again?
Tuesday the 18th,
Okay,
I'll be on there.
that's what I thought.
Same time?
same time.
Same batch channel.
So next meeting will be the Tuesday the 18th at 1:30 p.m. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.
All in favor?
All in favor, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
When do you guys vote? In March or April? Or